Good morning, gang. Happy Friday morning. All right, it's November 1st. We finally made it into election month. Last weekend before the election, this will be when we get a lot of the states closing down their early voting, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We're close. We'll find out what's going on. And going into the last few days, I find this really interesting. We're all familiar with what the golden rule is, right? Matthew 7:12, do unto others as you would expect them to do to you. Thereabouts, paraphrasing. Yeah, maybe not so much. I've never run for political office, but I've been in leadership positions before, in the military, managing departments and companies, running my own business. Yeah. Dealing with people a lot has been my career. You guys know the rule on my live stream, the one rule. Treat everybody with respect. Difference of opinion is fine, but you will treat everybody with respect. Not everybody adheres to those rules in their normal life. There's people out there in real life, on the internet, that are assholes. Okay? Yeah, they are. They are worthless as dog shit on the bottom of your shoe. And, they've got a life expectancy of about 30 seconds in SHTF because they'll be the first people that get shot. It's like, this guy's absolutely useless. Just get rid of him. Okay. I've never run for political office. Really, I've thought about it. I don't know if I ever will. We'll see. But what's happened here in the last few days is probably a masterclass in how not to do it. And it's just absolutely infuriating to see this. We go back 3 days ago, and Tim Walz is out there referring to Trump supporters as Nazis. We saw the Madison Square Garden rally the other day with them putting up signs, Trump supports Hitler, all this sort of stuff, right? Yeah. 2 days ago, we had the sitting president of the United States, Joe Biden, refer to, let's say 100 million people in this country as garbage. Yesterday, you had Mark Cuban, another Kamala Harris surrogate, say he's never seen Trump surrounded by strong, intelligent women. Really, Mark, would you care to explain to me, just let me know somehow, how many languages your wife Tiffany speaks? Because it seems to me that Trump's wife speaks 6, I believe, fluently. I mean, we're not talking about ordering a burrito at Taco Bell here. Tell me a little bit about, Tulsi Gabbard. There'd be another. She was intelligent enough to ditch the Democrat Party because they were anti-American. We could go down the list. I could make this a 20-minute video very easily, talking about the strong, intelligent women that Trump surrounds himself with. Look at his daughter Ivanka running companies. I don't know. Not only does he surround himself with them, he managed to raise them. We could talk about his daughter Tiffany, another strong, intelligent business owner. Right? Leadership. One of the first tenets of leadership is respect, and respect is not something that's just given to people. Respect is earned. Okay, and I've told you before. One of the greatest pieces of advice I got in the military was when a warrant officer told me about a piece of shit lieutenant. He said, You don't have to respect the person. You just have to respect the rank. It's true. Okay. There's many people in this world, many people I respect. There are a few that I don't. Okay. But I know this. If I'm running a department, a company, a little league team, the last thing I want to do is insult and berate the people beneath me. Especially if those people are going to determine whether or not I get or keep my job. It absolutely dumbfounds me that in the last week of the campaign, when Kamala Harris's campaign has openly said they are struggling with blacks, they are struggling with Hispanics, they're struggling with both Jews and Arabs, they're struggling with men. The only place where they seem to have an advantage in voting is with women. And one of their top surrogates comes up and insults women across the country. Are you trying to lose? Because if you are, thank you. We appreciate the help. No problem. Okay. You know, we all get the idea pretty quick that, you know, Joe Biden is doing whatever he can to sabotage the Kamala Harris campaign because he's pissed. All right. But notice that Kamala Harris has not come out and condemned any of these comments. She hasn't said Tim Walz shouldn't have said that. She hasn't said Joe Biden shouldn't have said that. She hasn't said Mark Cuban shouldn't have said that. So by default, she's accepting their comments. And don't tell me that she doesn't know about them, because each one of these has been made massive headlines all over social media, even all over mainstream media. So if she even possibly came up and said that she wasn't aware these comments were made, that's even further proof that you should not ever consider giving her a position of power, not even over a lemonade stand, because she's telling you she's completely oblivious to what's going on in the world. I know there aren't a whole lot of liberals that watch this channel. Good. You know, you're beyond help. I can't teach you anything else. You don't want to listen. You have all the answers, apparently. Okay. It's funny how people live in their own bubble and think, you know what, we'll just insult everybody, but then expect them in the next sentence to come out and vote for me because I'm the unity candidate, right? No. Your party has done everything they can to disunify this country for the last 16 years. You've succeeded in that. The American people would like to see us come together. I'll bet there's a lot of Democrats that would like to see us come together. And again, I'm going to define this just so people get it. There's a big difference between Democrat and liberal progressive. Okay? Democrats still believe in a strong United States. They still believe in going to work, etc. They may have differences of opinion, but remember on the pendulum here, okay? The country is center right. And the reason we get there is because there's a lot of people that are center left. So we're close. It's the people that are way over here that are trying to destroy this country. Tuesday's going to be fun because I saw a couple of things this morning. Give you this one. In most every swing state now, the early voting is off the charts. The Democrats have significant lower turnout than they did in 2020. Now, 2020 is a little different because 2020, a lot of people were mail-in voting because of the COVID scare. But they're even significantly underperforming 2016. And we've talked about this in a couple other videos. Don't get your hopes up because we don't know how people have voted. There's plenty of people that are registered Democrats that have voted for Republicans and registered Republicans that have voted for Kamala Harris. No problem. Okay. But just the simple fact that there's less means a lot. Now, let's take a look at Georgia. Georgia, which of course was stolen in 2020. We can easily say that now because the facts are coming to light showing that there was a lot of illegal activity in Georgia in 2020. Apparently, according to the Secretary of State's office, there are 613,000 voters that have voted early in Georgia that didn't vote at all in 2020. That means the low propensity voters are coming out, which is interesting because how that splits. Gee, does somebody who never really cared to vote in the first place vote for Kamala Harris because, oh my God, they hate Donald Trump? Or are they coming out and going, I'm voting for Donald Trump because I don't want to see this country go communist? Let's look up at Pennsylvania. This is an interesting one. The Amish. We all know how the Amish work, okay? They're pretty much live and let live. They want to be left alone. Just let them live their life without anything. They don't want any real contact with the outside world. Just let them do their thing. For some insane reason, the Amish in Pennsylvania are coming out to vote in droves. Hundreds of thousands of them. They don't vote historically, but they are this time. And guess who they're voting for? Give you a hint. It's a person who only has one accent. There was a poll that came out this morning that said that Trump is up by 5 points in Pennsylvania. Now, that could be an outlier, sure. I will readily admit that. And you know what I said about polls yesterday. I have a tendency to believe that because of these low propensity voters, these people that don't vote normally, coming to the polls, that saving America is on the horizon. That come Tuesday night, come Wednesday morning, this is just my gut. This isn't going off of any of the polls because I don't trust any of them. That there's going to be a lot of liberal tears. It's going to look worse than 2016 with these people crying and screaming and jumping up and down. However, on that same note, and I'm just going to give you this, and we've talked about it for a while, about not going anywhere for a couple of days. They are already boarding up Washington, D.C. I mean, literally putting plywood over the windows at McDonald's, at the post office, because they are fearful of riots. I want to give you this. Washington, D.C. is over 90% Democrat. Okay, that's how they vote. Washington, D.C. it will never be a swing territory, whatever you want, swing district, because it's so overwhelmingly Democrat. And even the Democrats are boarding up against their own because they figure there's going to be violence. There ain't a whole lot of Republicans. Republicans don't go out and burn, loot, and murder. So if the Democrat business owners are boarding up because of the Democrat population of their area, What do you think they think? They think like the rest of us. In 4 days, Kamala Harris's political career is history. And maybe we can start putting this country back together after the devastation we have had from 3 terms of Barack Obama. Hopefully they will put him out to pasture forever, and maybe the Democrats will wake up and realize, you know what? Maybe we need to be a little more center left and not so far left, because this country ain't ever going to be a communist country. Pinball out.